Premier League is back, and of course, predictions are back as well. Last game week, I got 7 points, taking me to a total of 166 points. This is recorded before the FA Cup game, so keep that in mind. Also, I won't really be talking about last game week's games, as they don't really matter since it's been like so long and they won't affect these games. So I will be starting with Wolves versus West Ham. Wolves, they still don't have Cunha. He's been out because of that red card, but they have gotten a win and a draw without him. But they also lost Larson to injury. He should be injured. It says he's injured, so they don't really have attackers at the moment. As for West Ham, their games have been very low scoring, 1-0 3 times in the last 5 games. They are also very inconsistent. They have found their form, or their formation, but not their form. So since Wolves don't have their attackers, their goal getters, and West Ham usually have low scoring games, I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win to West Ham. Next up is Arsenal versus Fulham. Arsenal, they continue to struggle in scoring. They still don't have Saka. He should be coming back in, sometime soon. It says early April. They expect him for the Madrid games, or that first one. They might force him to play. I don't know. But another thing on that Madrid thing, these Arsenal fans are so damn delusional. They actually think they're gonna beat Madrid and go through. They actually think they have a chance. They don't know who they're facing. As for Fulham, they are very inconsistent at the moment. Win, draw, loss, they're doing everything. But Fulham do score at the Emirates. In their last 3 games, I believe, they've scored at least once. So, Arsenal's struggling to score. Fulham at least get one. This could be, a tight game. But Fulham do have an FA Cup game to play, which could affect their fitness, but also could improve their team chemistry, as they haven't been playing for a while. So it is kind of a gift and a curse situation. But I think overall, Arsenal should have enough to beat Fulham. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal. Next up is Forest versus United. Forest, all I have for them is that Wood is injured. He should be injured. It says he's injured. I'm pretty sure he got called back from Australia or New Zealand. Don't even know where he's from. So they could be playing Iwanyi, someone who I think can do the job, but is a little different from him. They also have an FA Cup game to play, which is tomorrow, so it only gives them 2 days to rest, so that could hurt them as well. As for United, they've been getting a lot better, and that's due to Bruno turning up. He has 8 goal contributions in his last 5 games for United. And the last time these two teams faced, United lost 2-3, but a couple of Forest's goals weren't that good. If y'all remember that Gibbs White goal that went down the middle, but Onana dove and it just went down the middle. There was a header that looped over everybody and went in the back of the net. Clumsy goals that shouldn't have been goals. So I think this game, it could be tight here. There's no Wood. Bruno's turning up. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up is Southampton versus Crystal. Southampton, all I have for them is that they are 3 points. If you don't beat them at this point, you suck. As for Crystal, they are in great form. They have won 5 of their last 5 games. That includes a friendly that they had that I didn't know about. But still, Mateta is out. He should be out. That was a big cut, a big head injury. But, he could be back for even that FA Cup game they have. We don't know. But with or without Mateta, they should win here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Crystal. Next up is Bournemouth versus Ipswich. Bournemouth, they are starting to struggle. People are thinking they're great, but if you look at their points they're getting, it's not the best. Bournemouth also have an FA Cup game against us, City, which I do think they're going to beat us. Honestly, I want them to beat us. And I think that could help them with their form and flip their form back around. And they will be facing Ipswich. And Ipswich, since the turn of the year, they've only gotten 2 points. So they're not the best, but they do give you a game. They do give you a headache. But I think Bournemouth should have enough to beat them. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Bournemouth. Next up is Brighton versus Villa. Brighton, they are also another team in great form. 5 wins in their last 5. I think they will be getting European spots, at least Conference League, of course. They might even be pushing for Europa League. They are another team that are in the FA Cup. They will be playing Forest, and honestly, I think they will be Forest and go to the semis. As for Villa, they are a team who have flipped their form around after getting these, these signings with Rashford, Asensio, Disasi, who hands up, I thought they were going to be bums. And they are also in the FA Cup, and they have the easiest draw against Preston, so they should be going through. They have enough depth to be beating them. So both these teams are doing good, but I think Brighton is just a little bit better. At this moment in time, I think Brighton should be beating them. Plus, they are at home, so I'm going to be going for a 2-1 win for Brighton, which they have been doing for, a couple of their recent games. Next up is Newcastle versus Brentford. Newcastle are your new Carabao Cup winners. Congratulations to them. They knocked out Liverpool. Beautiful. But bad news for them, they are going to be missing Hall and Gordon. Gordon because of the red card, and Hall, I think he's injured. So that left side is going to be a little bit weaker than it usually is. And that is the side of Mbeumo. Brentford are doing well away. So I think this is going to be a good clash. I don't know why. I have a feeling it's going to be a high-scoring game. I feel like Newcastle always have high-scoring games. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for Newcastle. Next up is City versus Leicester. City, another inconsistent team. I don't know what to expect from my team. I hate it. I go into every week not knowing what to expect. But this international break should help these players, refresh their mindset, get away from City for a little bit, go internationally, go on break if you didn't get caught up, and then come back and lock the fuck in. Like I said, I expect us to lose against Bournemouth. I don't give a fuck. Get eliminated. At this point, it's a distraction. Let's focus on the Prem. Let's get top 4, and we can have Champions League games. As for Leicester, they continue their scoreless form. I thought they're gonna break it against United, but they got bopped 3-0. But I have a little feeling that they're gonna break it on us. That we're gonna be the ones to concede to them. Therefore, I went for a 3-1 win to City. I feel like we will beat them, but we'll get complacent and then concede. Next up is Liverpool versus Everton, a Merseyside derby. Liverpool, let's just talk about their downfall, because that's what's been happening recently. It's tasty. First, that PSG game, getting knocked out in the penalties. Should have been in ordinary time. How much they were getting bopped and controlled the whole game. Nunez and Jones missing their pens, and Salah's Ballon d'Or getting stripped away from him, right out his hands. And then the Newcastle game, losing to them in the Carabao Cup final, and that's 2 competitions they're out of in 1 week. And that's not it. There's a cherry on top, and that's Trent leaving, and they're devastated. So yeah, Liverpool fans have been going through it. As for Everton, they have been drawing left, right, and center. The last 4 games have been draws, but when they come to Anfield, they have lost 2-0 in their last 3 games. So that's what I went for here, 2-0. I mean, it's happened in recent memory. In the last game of the game week, we have Chelsea versus Spurs. Chelsea have been in great form, but don't let that form fool you. Those teams have been dookie. It's Southampton, Leicester, and Copenhagen twice. They won all against all of them, but I mean, don't let that fool you. Palmer's injured, but I don't even know if that should be a note, as Palmer has been asked. As for Spurs, they've also been asked. They did advance in Europa League, but they struggled. They have injured players coming back, but then they have players that are getting injured. So, I mean, this injury cycle is just going to continue for them. Danzo and Kulusevski are out. Both teams are horrendous right now. But I have a feeling that both of them are going to pop off in this game. Usually, Chelsea versus Spurs is entertaining. From what I remember, maybe it's that Tuchel Conte moment. Maybe that's what I'm remembering, but I feel like these games are usually entertaining. Call me crazy, but I'm going for a 3-2 win to Spurs. And those are my predictions. Tell me what you think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.